Hi, I'm Jason the X, and this is my review of Wonder Woman 84. All right, so let's get started with this. Okay, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that Wonder Woman 84 is not as good as the first one, and that's sad because this is a movie I was actually looking forward to. I really enjoyed the first one. So I was kind of looking forward to the sequel finally getting released. It's been a rough year. We ain't had any movies. I was looking forward to this one, and honestly, it's okay. It's okay, but the movie has a lot of problems. So of course the movie takes place in 1984, but backing up a bit. So first off, the movie starts off, we're seeing Wonder Woman as a child on Themyscira participating in these games. And oh, it's great to see the Amazons again. They're doing Amazon things, and it's cool. I honestly love the scenes from Themyscira. But young Diana is engaged in this competition, and Antiope is back, played by Robin Wright, which, great. Love her. And she's just a great character. But we find out Diana, had to learn a lesson on this about playing fair. And it's kind of one that, yeah, she's taught not to cheat, but does it really rear its head again during the film? It seems integral for them to make this point, but does it come up again? Kinda, sorta, but we'll get to that. So anyway, we then fast forward to 1984. Diana is grown up and at the mall, and so these robbers come in to basically steal an artifact from a jewelry store in the mall. Now, typically artifacts don't end up, but this item is called the Dreamstone. Now, of course, they show up. Wonder Woman thwarts them. And I do like how the costume is very colorful. It's very red and blue. I was a big fan of that. But I noticed that she's using the lasso a lot already. Instead of her usual just, I'm strong and punch. While that may be less visually appealing, the lasso is used a lot in this film, like almost to a degree that I'm like, is that all she's got? Because we've seen her in multiple films use sword and shield and her own knucks and even her bracers. So yeah, there's a definite overuse of the lasso. But needless to say, Diana thwarts this robbery. The Dreamstone is then claimed by the FBI, but it just so happens they're going to send this thing off to the same museum that Diana works at to be identified, which there's where we meet Kristen Wiig playing Barbara Ann Minerva. And she is the typical, I'm quiet, I'm nerdy, but I'm nice. I'm nice. It's a little over the top, honestly. Of course, what happens is they unknowingly make wishes. Barbara Ann and Diana make wishes on this Dreamstone. Barbara Ann wants to be more strong and powerful, like Diana, who she idolizes. Whereas Diana, out of the blue, suddenly wants Steve back. And she gets him, but in the weirdest way. So at this point, we learn Maxwell Lord, played by Pedro Pascal, was actually trying to get that Dreamstone. So he is a businessman, promises a grant to, get inside the museum to get to this Dreamstone, which eventually he does. Now, Pedro Pascal is great in this movie, but I don't know if he's great as Maxwell Lord. Immediately when I heard Maxwell Lord was in this movie, I thought about this scene. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that does not happen in this movie. No neck breaking. So let's just put our cards on the table now. But now as we progress a little bit into the movie, Diana's wish does come true and Steve Trevor returns to her in the body of another guy, which is, it's strange. We have to suspend our disbelief on this one, but he knows everything and he still appears as that guy. But, as we see him on camera, we see him as Steve Trevor, but don't worry, it is the body of another person who he has just entered and he's just borrowing for however long. I don't know. But of course we get some kind of hilarious scenes with them with, he's adapting. It's almost like a reverse what we saw them do in the first movie where he was introducing her to everything that she didn't know in the world. And now she's doing vice versa. The clothes scene, it's pretty funny. She's showing him art and advancements in aerospace. it works as a rom-com on these levels. Now, I'm not going to lie. I actually did like these scenes, though. It was funny with them going through everything, and I like Gal Gadot and Chris Pine playing off of each other. It was pretty fun, these parts. And things really are slowing down in the movie at this point. We're still building story, but honestly, there seemed like there was way too much. They really took the time to tell their story, and that might not be such a good thing this time around. In the meantime, Maxwell Lord does acquire this Dreamstone, and he wishes to become the embodiment of the stone, which, bad idea, Max. Just a bad idea. So now he can grant wishes from people, but they're going to give up what is most precious to them. Now, along this time, our two characters, played by Kristen Wiig and Gal Gadot, of course, Wonder Woman, they start to realize what they've paid for this. Kristen Wiig realizes that her kindness has been traded in exchange for becoming strong like Diana. Whereas Diana, her great strength and power is now waning, but she has Steve back. And while all this is going on, this is why I don't like Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. He's not calculating. In fact, when you can just grant every wish, you become irresponsible and you're an idiot, and he starts doing idiot things, and while succeeding, it's also costing him greatly. So, yeah, he's not coming off as so much of a villain, but kind of, he's gotten in way over his head, and that's not Maxwell Lord. But moving on. At this point, Diana confronts Maxwell Lord and is confronted then by Kristen Wiig, who does not want to renounce her wish, not at all. She's strong, she's powerful, she don't need no man in her life. So she kicks the crap out of Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman's power is waning, and Maxwell Lord comes up with an even better thought. Actually, it's a worse thought. As long as he can get everyone in the world to make a wish on him, then he can also, this is where things hit. The power of the stone is taking his life force every time he does it because he cares about himself the most, and he did make a wish. So then he starts making people wish, and then he wants their vitality from them. And so he comes up with a great idea. If I do a broadcast to everyone in the world and make them wish on me, I can take all of their vitality, and that'll keep me up and running. God, oh, damn. It gets worse when I say it out loud. Oh, and I might as well throw this in there because it is kind of relevant. But while Diana is trying to explain things to Steve, we do find out that big golden suit that she wears. We find out that this is from the last Amazon to protect all the Amazons while they made their way to Themyscira. Asteria, that is her golden armor, and Diana at some point during her travels has actually found her armor, but not Asteria. As we know, Amazons, they live for a long time, so she's never found her, but she did find her armor. But that's the big golden armor with the wings that we see in the trailer that now we're going to get into. So at this point, Diana realizes there's only one way she's going to win this, and she has to give up Steve so that she may have her power back to stop, because now the world is about to end. It's world ending. Everything's about to go. And to their credit, I would give them, this scene was kind of short, but I think it was done well, where she has to give up Steve and he has her last words to her and vice versa. But as she gives up her wish, because this is the only way to reverse the things from the Dreamstone, the person has to give up their wish. She starts to regain her power, and we see that one scene where she lassos a plane and goes off into the air, and then lassos a lightning bolt, but then Wonder Woman starts to fly. Now, hang on. Yes, Wonder Woman can fly. In current she has the capability of flight. They just kind of waited to bring it to her, even though I don't know if we really see her do it in Justice League. I'm not going to get into all that. But we do see her fly, but she's still kind of using the lasso. It's a really weird scene. Just make her fly. Just make her fly. Now, Minerva at this point is totally protecting Maxwell Lord because ain't nobody stopping her. Ain't nobody getting in the way of her wish to become more powerful. And now she makes a deal to get even more power. So she wants to be different from Diana, but still powerful. Here's where Cheetah finally appears. Now, before Diana gets there, though, because this is such a big fight, you gotta get that armor. And she gets Asteria's armor, wears it, flies to the battle, And seeing Minerva have just this, a CGI fight scene. And Kristen Wiig's Cheetah looks like she belongs in Cats. Yeah. Just give her a cat's name. Just Cheetah Mimpy Deepy or whatever, some stupid cat's name, because she looks like she's in the cast of Cats. Well, they have a fight, and what I thought this would have. It's a weird scene because they have their fight, and she doesn't kill Cheetah, and this is a knock on the movie that I have. I don't know if it's that Diana has just matured a little bit, or she's been, a little bit more accepting to our standards. But this is a watered down Wonder Woman. We're not seeing that sword swinging, hard hitting Wonder Woman that I want to see. This is a warrior. She does not play. And it's almost like Wonder Woman has gotten soft. Honestly, I wasn't happy with those parts. Like, I didn't really see her, like, hitting people. I mean, yeah, objects and everything. And she's going up against a character who's very powerful. So why aren't you, like, punching her block off? I don't know. Yeah, she can dodge. It's just, the whole movie, I seem to be getting this watered down Wonder Woman. And I don't like that. Yeah. I want to see that Amazonian warrior tearing things up. But after defeating Cheetah, she then needs to go find Maxwell Lord, who is accepting all these wishes and now becoming the most powerful thing in the world. And honestly, the last fight is very just anticlimactic. She basically, once again, the lasso comes into play, and she makes Maxwell Lord, who sees the light of his wrongdoings and renounces his wish and his power. And that fixes everything. There you go. Yeah, that fixes everything. This ending is just kind of bleh. It wasn't good. But also, not only Maxwell Lord renounces his wish, but somehow she gets everyone around the world to renounce their wish. Now, look, I love my fellow man, but sometimes my fellow man can be a jerk. And I don't see a lot of them renouncing a wish where they came out on top. So the ending of this movie basically played off the premise that everyone in the world is a good person and will renounce their wish that they've made. Really? So yeah, that's the end of the movie. Maxwell Lord reunites with his kid, who was the driving force in all of this. He wanted to be a good man for his for his son. Wow. Yeah. I like Pedro Pascal. I think he did a good job what he was working with. But this character does not come off as Maxwell Lord to me, and there were no consequences to this movie. None. Everything went back to normal. Everything went back to normal, and I guess that plays into the continuity of the DCEU. We don't want to do anything that might, be contradictory to what we've seen in Man of Steel or BVS or whatever. So yeah, everything just went back to normal. Look, I wanted to like this movie. I wanted to love this movie, but I cannot because of these glaring problems. There is a mid-credit scene. Stay for the mid-credit scene. Hey, you've already been there this long. Go ahead and stay for it. And it's a long one. 2.5 hours is a while for this movie, man. But overall, on a scale of 5 stars, I'm going to have to give this 2.5 stars. It's okay. It's okay. It's not something I'm going to be running back and watching immediately. But it is what it is. And, yeah, I can't say any more. Wonder Woman 84, 2.5 stars. Anyway, guys, if you didn't like this review, or you did like this review, leave the like or the dislike button down there. And please sub to the channel, SCNS Live. I hope you've all had a good Christmas holiday. I'll catch you guys later.